Hey Split Builds, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different. Thanks to me and my husband's compliance, we are going to redo these ugly floors that we've had for 4 years now.
They look pretty good on camera, but they're freaking terrible.
It's the worst mistake we ever made. If you have kids, dogs, or anything practical in your life, don't ever get dark floors.
And glossy.
Right, and glossy. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to try and sell these. Believe it or not, they're still in good shape. They're just not practical for our family. So we're going to pull the baseboards up, pull all the floors up down to the
subfloor,
and then we already picked out new floors, but that's a surprise. So you'll see that in a little bit. So here we go. So just to give you an idea about some of the issues we've dealt with this floor is, for example, this is our kitchen table. This is where, lots of wear and tear comes through with lots of chairs, so we get scratches like nobody's business. Kids have dropped toys and everything else. Every dent and ding shows, every footprint shows, so when they come in from a summer at the pool or just sweating outside with some friends, their footprints are all through the entire house.
And they're bad. Like literally every footprint, even me, like fresh out of the shower. And yeah, and she's like, get off my floors.
I'm saying, what are you doing? I just mopped the floors.
It gets all I'm happy to do this. You know how much complaining I've had to hear from this? I'm over it.
Well, it's not just him, it's these guys too.
Oh, Noah, Jane. You get your butt back on the
Yeah, so in here is a perfect view of a mop floor. I just mopped this yesterday, and so you can see all the footprints all the way down. Very pretty.
You probably can't see them on camera. Actually, on camera, it looks really good, and that is not. That is a false advertisement.
It's really, really bad. So, just a story of our everyday life. And another thing, follow me, that we're gonna have to do. So, we just redid these stairs, pulled the carpet off of them, kept the original treads, right?
Yeah. So this was drywall all through here just a few months ago actually, and we pulled up the carpet and we ended up staining the stairs. So guess what, you haven't seen the floors yet, so that's gonna have to get sanded off. And this is all in between the Jeep. This is just what happens. All right, so here we just kind of got to get rid of all your junk.
Piano.
Yeah.
Pianos, everything's got to be moved out, shipped out.
And then I've got to start removing from right here at the front door. Nola, you gonna help me? Up. All the way back to there. So I laid these floors 4 or 5 years ago, right? I think they did good, but you sent me on a mission to pick these out. And this is what you get when you send me to go pick out something. Do you see this? What is this?
This is how she feels about the floors. She says, Daddy, I'm done with them.
She's pathetic. I'm over you, Nola. Hey Maddox, you know what's next?
The baseboards.
That's right.
The bottom floor, except for the piano, which we're just gonna shift around as we remove the floor and lay the new floor.
And I promise we're going back with the Jeep.
So progress so far, we've got the baseboards up in the dining room, this
All gone.
front room here, yep. And then the front foyer and all the way down the staircase. And then we have,
All those, yep.
yep, all these down here. And then we've moved to the kitchen, got the pantry done. And now we have,
Oh, so you can kind of tell. Look how dirty the floor is. That's what she. Oh, that's a perfect image. I know you can see it.
It's
Look at all the
clean.
footprints.
It's clean.
Yeah, it was
I
mopped
promise you
yesterday.
it's clean. It's clean.
Yeah, you can kind of tell here too. So if you ever get dark floors, don't get the glossy finish on them. Is it? This was strung bamboo. I mean, it's honestly a good looking floor. It's just horrible finish, and it's cheaper just to put down new floors, right?
Yeah, it was I mean, we thought about sanding them and restaining them, but they had the grooves in them, so I don't think it would have looked good. We thought about flipping them over and staining them, and that wouldn't have worked because it's not solid on the bottom, like it wouldn't have sat well.
Yeah, it had like a dip.
And then we thought about painting them, and that didn't work either.
So what we're also gonna do is knock out the top part of the bar right there, and then extend this and make a
big island
yeah,
that'll go like out here.
and that will be our table.
Yep,
Instead of having this little bitty table that we've always had in here.
with 3 kids.
But it was my great grandmother's, so
We'll find another place for it.
it's nice and it's got some age on it. Built in like 1880.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's keep going.
Everything labeled and kind of stacks for each room and labeling, and now it's time to pull the floor up.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Jack, what do you think about that?
What do you think, buddy? You want some new floors?
Oh God.
Maybe a hug? Have a hug? Yeah.
Good boy. Ready for this?
Okay, so we have pulled up the floor, of course, baseboards, and now we've been working on just sweeping, vacuuming, and hammering down some of these staples that are left over from the previous hardwood. Some of them we're having to pull up. And now we're putting down, was this like a pad, moisture barrier?
Yeah. Not one. Yeah. Whatever. Kind of helps with the sound.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel so much like floating.
Because this is, what is it? Engineered? Or is it laminate? That's laminate.
Laminate, yeah.
So yeah.
So it kind of gives it doesn't give it that laminate feel.
And we've had hardwoods in the past, and I like laminate. I'm not especially today's laminate. It's so much better than it was like a decade ago. Way better.
Well, especially when you have, everyday living, like 4-legged friends and 2-legged kids. Okay, so I guess we're finished for the day. We are beat. We got all the floors up, at least in the living room. We have 2 rolls of the whatever, the padding
At
down.
the under.
Yeah. And Marshall had to do lots of cuts around the fireplace, so that took some definite time. And
the vents over there too. But check this out. I mean,
all
it's
the
like
vents.
a explosion happened in here. Like.
Well, we were afraid it was gonna rain, so we pulled everything in. So.
I know, it's a mess. My luck, it's definitely gonna rain, more than likely.
Yeah. But half of the living room done.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's barely
Tomorrow.
any. We got a long way to go. Like a long way to go.
Tomorrow,
My back is
hopefully, we
screaming.
can finish maybe the living room and kitchen, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Have somewhat function in this house again.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the next morning. Our backs are hurting, our knees are hurting, but I'm sure there's more to come with that. We've already started laying the next kind of padding here and starting to move ahead with more rows. The kids are on the bus, at least the younger ones are, so we're gonna get done as much as we possibly can. So hopefully we'll have this living room done in no time and move on to the kitchen.
Bingo. Bit of painting.
Yep.
That way we can knock out one room at a time, huh?
Fresh coat of paint. I don't think we ever painted these since we bought them, so there's still that primer, like, off-white color.
Yeah.
So I think it'll give a good contrast.
Cool. Thing's loud, man.
I'm sure our neighbors appreciate it.
It's coming along.
Yes, we are almost done with the living room. We have what, maybe 4 more rows?
If that. So
If that.
once we get this room, the floor laid down, we're gonna throw the baseboards on it. That way we can put furniture back in this one so it's not everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like over there.
Like in our kitchen.
Yeah. So I don't know, sweep the floor real quick, move that stuff over here and move on to the kitchen.
I'm already super happy because the floor is so dirty from us tracking stuff in and out
You can't see any
that you
footprints.
can't see anything. Like, I mean, it's really difficult to see how dirty it is. And then I'm also happy because I have new baseboards painting out here. You can see those, so here we go. Okay, baseboards are down, caulking is done. Did a quick vacuum and a quick mop, and so now we're moving the furniture back in here so we can move on to the next room.
Yeah, because it's a mess over here. But man, check out these floors.
Yes, already with the vacuum and mop, it looks virtually the same when it's dirty, which was my whole goal. I don't want it to look
It looks
obvious
great.
when you mop.
Like when we're tracking through here.
Yeah.
It's you
beautiful.
can't even tell. It's great. Yeah,
It
good
lines
job.
up good.
Yep.
Looks very nice. I'm happy. Okay, so on to the kitchen slash eating area. This has always been an issue for us because there's just not a lot of room right here to put a normal size table. So
Yeah, we had a little small, like 4-person one.
yeah, and there's 5 in our family, so if anybody comes, like even one person, we try to squeeze around this little bitty table. So we're going to remove this
bar
thing because there's not even room for seats and a table. So we're gonna take that down to counter height and then build kind of like a huge oversized island that's kind of connected to the countertops. So we get, you know, the best of both.
Get more seating.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, ideally I want this wall completely knocked out, but
that one right here.
We're just not
But
sure.
check it out. We got electrical. We got phone line, electricity, garbage disposal, and over here on this side we got 3 more wires. And there's a load bearing. Let me get up here, right here, and it actually stops right in here, so it does not extend all the way down. Even though there's a little open window right here, these are just studs through here, so it does stop like right there. So unfortunately, she really wants that whole thing opened up, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But until we put floors in here, while these old ones are still here, we're gonna bust this up.
Yeah, and then we'll obviously have to replace the countertops too, and we got this cheap Formica, so we'll do some granite or marble
Quartz or
quartz.
something.
Yeah, something that goes along with everything. So.
But cheap, because we're cheap. Might not look it, man, we're cheap.
We're cheap. So it's demo time.
So the outer drywall's got to come out right here. For one, to bring it down to here, but so from here down, we're going to put shiplap. So it's going to look really cool.
Ready? I never understood the purpose of a high island when it's not functional.
Yeah.
I think it just separates the room.
So it looks like our outlets, this was really good for me. So it ends here. So there's no more daisy chained off that one. So I can remove because I'll probably end up relocating them somewhere, at least one over here, maybe on the bottom and maybe another one down here, but they need to go for now. All right, what I'm doing right now is marking, which is going to be the top of the bar height on it. So I'm going to go ahead and measure all these, cut them with the Sawzall. That way my top of this table that I'm building is going to be the same height as the countertop is right now. So we removed the cabinet that was here, took everything out of there. So she wants to open this up, make it larger. So I'm gonna put a header, hopefully from here to here because we do have a load-bearing wall right here. There's a beam that runs up, and this beam over here rests right here, but it stops. So what I'm gonna do is try to continue this same height. There's gonna be a beam, of course, of some sort, so I still gotta do some of the electrical, but kind of bring this height right here across over here, and then somewhere in this area it'll drop and go down, so this wall it'll shrink to about, I don't know, 2 feet. So with all that being said, let's go back to work.
Okay, so we're trying to get as much openness as possible. So we've taken these two 2x4s off, and we're gonna they're cut, we're gonna knock them out just so we can see if this will give us enough space. So here we go. It takes you 2 hits, and me 12.
Not my fault you're weak.
Everybody, welcome back to the channel. So just an update of what we've been doing and what's going on. The floors are all completely installed. I'm super happy with them. Yes, the dogs have been coming in and out. The kids have been coming in and out. I can't see any like dirt footprints. All the whole 9 yards have been dealing with. So we have taken all the baseboards completely up, obviously repainted them, recaulked them. So check it out.
Let's go this way.
As we see the rooms.
It looks great for $1.49 a square foot, and this is actually laminate. And for our family, I think it works really, really good. Huh?
It does, and it doesn't feel like laminate. We did the padding underneath, so when you step on it, it doesn't have that like, oh, is this cheap flooring or anything else? Like it really, and the way that all of like the tongue and groove kind of fit together, it looks like hardwood floor.
It sure does.
Mm-hmm. You see some like
what do you think, Jack?
Here and there.
Yeah, you see the knots?
Mm-hmm.
It really wasn't terrible. It's just time consuming. And back breaking because you're up and down, up and down, up and down, cuts up and down. And it rained, I think, every day that we did this, but the very first day. So I had to go down to our covered deck to do the cuts, and it was just terrible.
I think I dropped some food under the oven, so it's getting taken care of now.
There we go.
So, but you know, touching with the baseboards also kind of encourages you to touch up other stuff that gets bumped and bruised along the way, which is like all this and everything else. We do have an unexpected error that occurred. Our refrigerator of like
13 years?
12, 13 years. Our middle child broke this at some point along the way.
He was like 4.
We just kind of dealt with it. But it started leaking from the ice maker, right?
Yeah. I cut off the water line, and it quit. Obviously, it quit leaking and stuff. It wasn't frozen over, so it's still cooling. It might go somewhere else in the house, just not here.
So yeah, we got a new one coming. Stay tuned. It's really cool.
It is pretty cool, I have to say. It's kind of stupid, but cool.
It's super cool. It's super cool. So yeah, so come in. So the next thing we're going to do in here is we are going to repaint the kitchen cabinets. They're really, really distressed. And I'm going to go with just, you know, a different color scheme. You have to stay tuned for that. Some different like knobs and pulls.
Yeah, but these were stock like builder grade cabinets, and you painted all of these, Tara.
I did.
She painted all those, put the hardware on, and they looked really good, but we're going to change things up.
Yep. Yeah, just go. And then obviously new countertops. But this is the big doozy we're working on now. So we have gotten to kind of our safe place right now. And so from what I understand, we're going to be taking out.
I've already cut out quite a bit of that. Obviously, you've seen, but I'm gonna even take this header out. So I'm gonna go one more notch over and put the header right here and get rid of that power on this side and move the junction box and everything over here, which probably ain't gonna involve a lot, especially moving the power lines downstairs, up through the basement from the box up here, which, I mean, I know how to do this stuff, so it's not terrible.
But it'll be more open, because it's not very symmetrical right now. We wanted more like of a column look instead of a half wall.
So if we just keep the two load-bearing parts.
Yeah, this and this, right?
Yep, just keeping those two, and then we're gonna, well, I'm not even gonna tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna make it a surprise.
Yeah. So,
But my grandma's kitchen table's got to go, right?
Yeah. It's gonna go somewhere really special, but not here.
The dog Jack's licking the chair.
Yeah,
it's normal.
So our obviously another thing we're going to have to do is just design what we're going to do with this oversized kitchen island, because there'll be no kitchen table here. So either square or round or half moon, we're not really sure.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty large. It's going to come out like 5 feet, about 5 feet.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty big square.
Yep.
Or something like that.
A lot more easier for entertaining and just like the kids hanging out and just, you know, being in the kitchen cooking and talking to people. So that's what's happening. Living room's done, I think, completely for the most part, right?
Yeah.
There's some things here and there. We've got to get some more baseboards, some baseboards.
Yeah, right here. These I destroyed. My bad. Oops. But the rest looks pretty good, even into the hallway. I got the thresholds to do, and the stair bullnose to the basement and upstairs.
Yes. So lots more like, I don't know, design and sanding and staining, but lots of exciting stuff going on. So stay tuned.
Awesome.
Yes.